Here with your KMRS local news for September 8th, I'm Matt Privratsky. The City of Hancock will discuss how to deal with the loss of Police Chief Don Heikkinen during their meeting Monday night. Heikkinen passed away after he was in a boat that took on water on Long Lake this past weekend. It was reported that there were no life jackets on board. The city had previously called an emergency meeting for tonight at the request of the mayor, but that got pushed back when Heikkinen's visitation was scheduled for tonight. Late Sunday evening, Ted Rasnick's home in rural Starbuck burned to the ground. Starbuck Fire Department Chief Todd Johnson surveyed the damage on September 5th and, after talking with the fire marshal, said they were undetermined as to what may have caused the fire. There was noticeable tension in the room during the Stevens County Board meeting this week. There was a clear disagreement over how to handle the county's financial work. County Auditor Neil Weiss felt that whoever did financial statements should be located in the auditor's office, and at one point even suggested that the county hire a full-time employee to handle the financial statements. But nearly everyone disagreed. It was clear at times that emotions were running high, and Chairman Ron Staples was visibly frustrated with Weiss. Phil Gossman seemed to agree with Staples that it was unnecessary to add a full-time position in the auditor's office, stating that it would be an unnecessary growth of government. Recommendations by the Personnel Committee suggested that Stephanie Buss, who already does highway department and county work, handle financial statements as well. Even if she ends up doing the work, she and others made it clear that the work should not be done through the auditor's office. And the IT director for Stevens County will now go back to doing what he does best. That's the key takeaway from the position shuffling from earlier this week. Scott Bush, who had assumed the facilities duties on top of his regular IT job, will now be back to handling the IT duties, and Nick Young will now be facilities manager. The change was made in part to make sure the county was able to keep Young, but also to allow Bush to return to his original job. Bush will still be the head of his department, and Young will be promoted to the head of the facilities department. Bush will receive $10,000 for handling the extra duties for this year, and Commissioner Paul Watzke was happy to pay him the extra money, saying it was probably pretty cheap for all the work he had to do. A blend of university students and community residents can be found at the community picnic tonight at Eastside Park. Community and students and staff from the University of Minnesota Morris are invited to attend the Morris Area Chamber of Commerce annual Welcome Picnic from 5 to 7. The free event includes dinner and a community expo. In addition to a great meal, the Welcome Picnic provides an opportunity for newcomers and longtime residents to learn more about their community. Paul Hendricks, interim director, says the Chamber of Commerce is especially looking forward to meeting and greeting students and introducing new members of the Morris area to the region's amenities, merchants, and resources. We look forward to serving several hundred students at the picnic, he says. The Pope County Board of Commissioners heard from local groups Tuesday as part of the county board's preparation for setting the 2012 budget. With the county looking at over $2 million budget shortfall, appropriations are a tough sell to the commissioners this year. The University of Minnesota Extension Service requested a slight increase, the Viking Library System will receive flat funding, and several other offices were in the same boat. But the most dramatic request came from the Ag Society, which requested 3.5 times what they got last year. The funds were largely requested to help fix the livestock barn, which is in tough shape. Near the end of discussions, Commissioner Larry Linder said, "If we get to the point where we ask all departments and staff to reduce by 5 or 10%, then we have to reduce the appropriations also. We can't go to one and not the other. But that is going to be our juggling act." The Stevens County Sheriff's Office is in desperate need of a new transport vehicle, or at least it was before the county meeting this week. The transport vehicle the Sheriff's Office had been using was burning through 2 quarts of oil every 40 miles it traveled. Just a trip to Fergus Falls and back would have required refills. When the agenda item first came up, Commissioner Jeannie Ennin jokingly asked Sheriff Randy Willis if he maybe had just forgotten to put the plug in the stop to stop the oil from leaking. To solve the problem, the Sheriff's Office will now be using a 2006 Chevy Impala that used to be a county vehicle. It seemed to be a win-win scenario for the county and the Sheriff's Office because the transition would only cost a few $100s as opposed to the cost of buying a brand new car. And the county should be able to get by with one less car in its fleet. Dinner in the Garden tonight will offer local foods and live music, all in support of the Horticulture Gardens. The West Central Research and Outreach Center will start their event at 5:30 p.m. with a wine and cheese tasting, and dinner starts at 6. The event will also feature music by Dustin Retzlaff and the UMM Jazz Ensemble. The cost to attend the event is $50 per person, with all proceeds going to benefit the horticulture gardens at the Research and Outreach Center. Purchases must be made beforehand, and tickets are available at the Pomme de Terre Food Co-op and the West Central Research and Outreach Center. For more information, you can call Gene at 320-589-1711. And that's been your KMRS Local News for September 8th. I'm Matt Privratsky.